Barrister, you know that on a regular basis we get to see lifeless bodies around. Before now, it used to be probably parts of human bodies scattered in different places. Sometimes skeletons are found in the bushes and all of that. Right about now, they kill and dump them anywhere, indiscriminately. Anywhere they feel, they dump them. Last week, we reported where bodies were dumped in front of a hospital. The other time, it was in front of a church. All of this is to cause fear, to cause panic, to cause insecurity amongst a people that is already facing a whole lot of challenges, as it were. This is looking like a daily reoccurrence. Is there a possibility of people to stay indoors and still survive just so that they don't get killed in this war of independence?
Now, there's no possibility of staying indoors not to be killed because the killings are well organized. They are properly organized. In fact, I can say that in most instances, they are state organized killings. They are state sanctioned killings of those people. Especially now, during this tumultuous election period, the government has adopted a policy. It's a policy, it's not an imagination, where they kidnap people and take them to unknown destinations. Only the lucky ones even come back. So if you found a corpse near a church, you found a corpse near the hospital, that is the work of a kind guy. Very kind murderers. Because they dump you before the church, they dump you before the hospital. Because at least one thing is sure, you'll be buried. You'll be given a formal burial. They'll pick your dead body, they will to dump it somewhere in the grave. Otherwise, they will just be thrown in the forest and you will die. Dead already, or you are bleeding to death, they dump you there and go away. Officially. And so the government has adopted this policy of kidnapping its own citizens, killing them without fear or favor, without fear of any responsibility. Am I imagining it now? Right now, we remember the case of Martinez Zogo, a man that they officially killed with government agents there. They murdered him in his own private environment. You remember the case of Wazizi? They picked him up in his own house in Boya. Two to Yaoundé, we have not known where he is. We never even saw his body. But the government announced that he's dead. So this is a policy. They are not explaining anything to anybody. They kill you, especially if you're a critic of the government. They kill you, dump you wherever they wish. No, no questions asked. Even if they didn't do that, this is not the simple data of case. It is the responsibility of whoever sits in Yaoundé and calls himself the government to investigate all crimes. But these things are happening before the eyes of the governors, before the eyes of the prefects, the sous-prefects, all chef d'etat, before the eyes of the gendarmes, the police, the bee, and so on and so forth. And so that is the responsibility as a government to investigate. Have they ever investigated? No. They always end up by investigations will be open and no results are ever given. Is it a policy? Of course. Do we ever have the results from Garibu, which they admittedly did? Did they ever punish anybody to the best of our knowledge? They didn't. Did we ever have any official punishment for the killers of Florence Ayafo? That was admitted by the government. We never had anybody punished. And so it is a government policy to eliminate people they don't like, especially Amazonians, directly or indirectly. They either come and adopt you in uniform or in plain clothes, or they pay somebody to eliminate you. This is government policy, I insist. Let the government challenge me. It's a policy to eliminate Anglophones, to eliminate the people they don't like. And you find around, they will do that. The best thing they will tell you is suspected Amba boys. So not even the government saying it. Government agents in their narration will say, well, suspected Amba fighters did that. Why? Because they want to turn, they wanted to paint what they call Amba's fighters black. They want to make them look like criminals. And of course, Atangaji will go further to add that they are drug dealers. This is from the government minister's own mouth. And so drug dealing eh, encourages crime, promotes crime. This comes from the government's own mouth. And what are the drug dealers doing there? What has the government done to catch and train them or to lock them up? Zero. Therefore, even if they are drug dealers, if they are armed robbers, they are encouraged by the government to help them where they have failed. In terms of Ambazonia, they have failed to bring law and order to Ambazonia. What do? They instill fear by killing whoever they think comes their way. If they ask you a woman for love and you don't come, they kill you. If you come, they rape you and they still kill you as a policy to instill fear in the citizens. That is not acceptable anywhere. It is not acceptable in Cameroon. It should not be acceptable in Amazonia. People who are doing all this, directly or indirectly, must be held accountable because you cannot be allowed to kill people with impunity. You cannot be allowed to take the law into your own hands with impunity. And so, again, as I said in the last segment, that is why we fight. That's why we must get out of this dungeon of this lawless community called Cameroon. They are criminals from top to bottom. They are, in fact, potential jailhouse visitors from top to bottom. They are all criminals, directly or indirectly. And so, poor people who are dead, the killings again are targeted, very, very targeted or random. The whole goal is to instill fear in the population of Amazonia. And so if you go to places where everything is so hot, then go Kotunja, I think Ndop is in Go Kotunja, they will find more of those things because they want to instill fear in the population. If you go to where there is not so much, they will do it differently. Again, where are the chef de terres? Where are the investigations? Where are the commissaire de police? Where are the commandant de brigade? Where are the generals of the B who are flooding the streets? No accountability, no response. By implication, it is done by their own paymasters general. Over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.